Carlo Rossi, my grandpa's wine.
Wow, delightful.
And that's a new mic.
Yes.
And relatively speaking, you're a new mic. Aha! Boom, watch fan. When Michael and I go to like meetings and shoots, there's no dress code for Michael. In fact, I think it's cool when Michael wears pajamas. Yeah. Because it's like a genius thing going on there. Michael has a landscaping shirt.
I love that shirt.
I love it. And the first time he wore it, he looked at me like, "Is this okay?" And I was like, "In fact, it's better."
Yeah.
Because it's like that's the introverted talk less, smile more. That is the introverted genius that wears landscaping clothing to $1 million event.
Yep.
Or a multi-million-dollar whatever.
Yeah.
And
million's not enough.
A million, it's a kind of small hole.
That's not a good event.
Not a good event. And anyway.
I
like you for you.
I'm also, as we're talking, as you're doing the intro, I'm
all
turning into you.
All the homophobes watch this, and they're like, I like you for you.
You're sitting too close.
Dude,
I'm like, how do you suppose do you know how small
let's sit over here.
Yeah.
Stupid.
But you know what we have to do? This video.
What is up, Watch Fam? I am Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
And I'm Michael, not
the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
I'll just exist as
I'm drinking Carlo Rossi wine. We introduced Liquor Run back to the Theo and Harris channel.
Yes, we did.
Last week, 2 weeks ago, and it was fantastic. Watch the video down below. So today I'm drinking, like I said, Carlo Rossi, which is the antithesis of everything that my father stands for in many ways. My father loves great wine. He also does drink table wine, but I love table wine. I love house wine. I love Carlo Rossi. It reminds me of my grandfather, my great-grandfather. I'm a very nostalgic guy.
And the thing with table wine is usually they age wine in barrels. They just pour this wine on the table.
It just lays there in your
for
grandfather's musty dining room. Anyway, okay, so if you're not familiar with the series, we talk about watches here. We have 4 subjects today. Michael did the itinerary, so Michael, please run us through.
Yes, I did the itinerary, which means we're in for a good ride.
Woo!
Usually they go really well. First things first, Lionel Messi. He's on a different team now. And he has a few watches that I figured we should talk about.
He is a very wealthy person.
His new contract, $80 million a year, I believe.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. In case you're frankly unfamiliar with money.
In case you didn't know.
It's a lot of money.
It's $1 million times 80. Next up, Cartier's Solar Beat.
Which is kind of an emotional watch for us.
Yes, but also an announcement. Third up, Piaget, kind of in a league of their own. Also with JLC, the Thinnest watch record has just been set again. And
Bvlgari as well. They compete. They compete there. Yeah.
Yep. And then finally, Bvlgari.
Octo Finissimo, Perpetual Calendar, Tantalum.
Yes.
Tantalum is a great material. They make the Chronomet Blue from FP Journe and Tantalum. They've made Royal Oaks in Tantalum. I've owned those Royal Oaks.
Really?
They're ugly, but in a lovable way. I love them so much. I had one for a while.
Yeah.
I think I bought that watch. I spent like $14,000 on it, knowing I would make like $200 when I sold it. Wow. But I wanted to have it so badly. For context, that's a bad investment. That is what you qualify as. By the way, have you seen crypto right now?
Yeah. Nothing can stop it.
Did
all the way up.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you?
Yeah, actually, no. Did you?
I was at a birthday party a couple of months ago.
This is also the man that swore off crypto.
About a minute before the crypto crash, and I bought what I would qualify as a significant, relatively speaking.
$200 worth.
Yeah, $200. I wish. In crypto, I was drinking.
You bought it at the top.
I bought it about 10% below the top.
Like 58. Bitcoin at 58.
I didn't buy Bitcoin.
Oh,
but yes, but I bought Bitcoin. Yeah, right. Everything was around 58. And I was down in D.C. 2 weeks later, and I lost about $40,000 in about a minute and a half. And everyone was like, well, you seem drunk. And I said, I'm just alive. Yeah. I'm just glad to be alive.
It's good to know things still don't go my way.
Yeah, it's really good to, it was like...
Humbling.
Nothing was going well at the time. I mean, apart from business, which frankly was terrific. Okay? Business was fantastic. But no, that was a lot. I lost a lot of money that way. But
I feel like it was the same face that I saw that time we went to that watch event and you put the container full of watches down.
Tell the story.
Christian and I go to a watch event, and he's basically looking at all of his favorite watches. Any single watch Christian wants, he pulls off this rack and puts it in a box, and he's walking around, looking at it and talking to people about it. And then Christian comes up to me about 5 minutes later and says, "You want to get lunch?"
Yeah, right.
And I say, "Yeah, sure." So we're eating lunch, we're talking, I'm trying to tell a joke, and then Christian's face just goes, He comes close to me and goes, we gotta go. We gotta head out real quick.
You want to go upstairs?
You want to go upstairs? And Christian never does that. So I was like, yeah, for sure. And as we're going up the elevator, Christian says,
hey, I think I just lost about $1 million in watches.
Christian put the little tray of watches down. Probably $500,000 more in watches.
I think it was like $700,000.
Probably $700,000 in watches. Puts it on just a counter and walks away. And we obviously everything was fine, but we were dying over the fact that the security footage would see Christian walking up, talking to some guy, placing it down, and then just scuttling off.
So what ultimately ended up happening was once we retraced our steps, I did hand the watch off to a sales rep, but I did not physically give it to them. I said, "We good? Good?" And they said yes, and we were all good. Oh. But when I'm eating this corned beef sandwich, I'm thinking to myself, did I just lose $700,000 in watches? If so, I shouldn't have brought up Bvlgari last week. Because that's a bad week for me.
Yeah, that's not a good week.
It's not good. It's bad. It's bad.
For me, I would be like, ugh, but we get over it.
Leo Messi.
Yes.
What do you know about soccer, football, football? That is a reference to Meet the Parents.
Oh, nice. This is what I will tell you. I used to play baseball.
That's nothing like soccer.
My coach said, Michael, can you name one player on the Red Sox? I'm from Massachusetts. And I said, no.
Big Papi.
Well, no, he was off at the time.
Matt Damon.
George,
Johnny Damon.
George Clooney? I don't know. So that's kind of my perspective about all sports.
Yes.
Soccer, I somehow know even less. I go into your house and everybody's yelling at me.
Leo Messi played for Barcelona.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say it like that. Yep.
And I am a Real Madrid fan. I grew up from day one Real Madrid fan. So Leo Messi is my arch enemy.
Oh.
Samuel Eto'o was my enemy before him, and Ronaldinho enemy before him, and I mean so many folks before Figo before them.
Who before them?
I don't even remember. I think Cruyff played for them. I don't
and before them?
I don't know. You're getting me, But anyway, Leo Messi's great. He's a big tax evader. He got caught doing that.
That is awesome.
Big watch guy.
I wonder what
does he have?
He's now in Paris. In Paris.
Bali.
In Paris.
I'm going to Bali very soon.
I know.
I'm
jealous. But he wore this Yachtmaster, which I thought was cool. That is also my favorite currently produced Rolex.
I was going to ask you, do you like the Yachtmaster?
Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite by far.
Rose gold.
Rose gold, everything. 40 millimeters, perfect size. I think it's an amazing
watch. Here's a question for you guys out there. Do you think that the ceramic bezel in matte finish is better or worse than the ceramic bezel that you find, in shiny finish, in the Submariner, etc.? I actually like the matte on this model.
Me too. I love everything about this watch.
Yeah, I love it. I would buy that watch in a second.
Same. Looking at his collection, though.
Wait, one more question. Have you tried on an Oyster Flex before?
No. What is it about them? I just see them.
Dude.
No. Tell me, what is...
Are you kidding? Are you
I really have it.
So the underbelly has a raised thing in the middle. So there's never sweat. Like it's designed so that there's constantly air in between your wrist and the strap itself.
You're kidding.
It is remarkably comfortable.
Really?
Remarkably.
Wow.
I've never been so comfortable.
No way.
Even in my pajamas.
No way.
I don't know. That watch is maybe $30,000 or $40,000. Might as well be. I don't know. 100% a buy.
Oh yeah, of course.
Frankly, it's a steal.
It's a steal.
What's the next watch? Is it
the next watch? Do you want to say what it is before? Do you know? I was looking for...
Is it an Invicta?
No, that would be hilarious. I was looking for some way to bring this up in a live. Your watch spotting is unreal. And I watch a lot of watch YouTube videos and like all the masters and stuff.
Yeah.
Bar none, I haven't seen anyone... Like, I know most things are rehearsed, but I am now on shoots with you.
Is that an RM?
No, that's a Jacob McCall. This is not a good example.
No. I never would have gotten that.
I've been on shoots with you, and you just scope out like anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
And sometimes I know the watch, but you get it like you'll be like, it's quick set. And I'm like, there's no way you'd know a vintage date just versus a not vintage date just from
50 feet away.
Yeah. I was like, Brad Wilson. That was the first time you did it. I was like, there's nothing signifying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane.
Listen, I'm pretty good at it.
That's what he does.
See, the reason I didn't get Jacob is because who gives you
Where's Jacob and Co?
cares?
This is the Jacob and Co. Epic X Chrono Messi white gold titanium and baguette.
They put his name on it. That's why he wore it.
Yep,
Get out of
exactly,
here, please.
exactly.
Go tell somebody else.
And then this obviously is in his full collection, or it could be, you never know. But then he has an AP Royal Oak Leo Messi limited edition.
Yeah, well, it's just a pretty watch. He would wear that watch either way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a pretty watch.
And he tearfully left Barcelona.
I love the 38mm AP Chronos. Have you seen those? The
Yes.
Royal Oaks?
Yep.
With the gray dial?
Yep. Those
Oh God.
those bands are amazing. Or the brace. No, those are bands. The
straps?
Those are amazing. Straps. Thank you. That's the right word.
So they protrude a lot. They're very stiff. I have a small wrist, just like you.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Yeah.
They're tough for me.
Yeah.
But those 38mm AP Royal Oaks, man, in Chrono, nasty.
Yep.
Nasty stuff. He left Barcelona because they could no longer, to what I understand, they can no longer afford him.
Right. Left Barcelona because of the La Lisa rules. You know what that is?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. He signed an $80 million contract.
Wow.
Tearfully left. I thought that was a funny note that they put in.
For 80 million.
I'm very obviously you could be sad and cry, which is totally valid. But I was like, yeah, it's not a really.
He is a beautiful player, though. He really plays incredibly well.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's unbelievable. I am a Ronaldo fan. Not Ronaldo from Portugal, Ronaldo Luis Nazário de Lima from Brazil. That was my guy when I was growing up.
Really?
Yeah. And you know, what's funny was I visited Spain for the first time. I left the country for the first time. I think I was 7, 6. So, 2005. And well, that's a lot of our fans that are like 50 are gonna be like, oh my God. And getting back on the plane after this incredible trip that I loved so much. God, it was so began my life in many ways. It was amazing. We're getting back on the plane, and I'm wearing a Real Madrid shirt, and the stewardess, before we get on the plane, says, "Are you a Real Madrid fan?" And I said, "Yeah, claro que sí." And she says, "Well, Ronaldo's on the plane. Can I introduce you to him?" And I said, "You want to introduce me to the man who hangs in my room?
Wow.
You want to introduce me to the most famous soccer player in the world?"
Right.
And she's like, "Yeah, he would be so happy." She brought me over. He was, Michael, such a gentleman. I don't even know what to say. An incredible gentleman.
Really?
Yes, and he signed my shirt, and it still hangs in my room.
Wow.
Yep. On the opposite side of the fence, I love Kanye West. I met Kanye West 3 years later, and he snubbed the shit out of me and told me to go sit down while he ate.
Wow. That reminds me, a similar story, actually. I went to SeaWorld, and I got to see Shamu, and they brought me up in front of everybody. I got to put my hands
Spat
up.
in your face.
No, he listened to every command. I threw a fish in his mouth. It's incredible.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's a true story?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And Shamu hangs in my room.
So, long story short, first of all, this is Cartier's new Solar Beat. It's a beautiful Tank Louis.
Which we'll get into in a second, because I saw actually a lot of negative reaction to this. For a very watch reason. But
I'm looking forward to getting into that.
Yeah.
This is Cartier Solar Beat, beautiful Tank Louis. I love this watch simply for its design. I think it's incredible.
Same.
I think it's incredible. The price point is incredible. We're going to get into all that in a second. When these watches were released, and they made them in a lady size and a men's size, and I'm not sure which one I want.
Same, actually.
We'll have to try them on at London Jewelers. Michael and I both looked at these watches and said, yes, we want these watches.
Yes.
But, we didn't particularly at the time have a reason to buy these watches together, and together.
People slowly notice you have a wedding ring on, an engagement ring.
I have a solitaire 3-carat
massive
VVS1 diamond. And I'm like...
So we came up with something.
So anyway, Michael and I have started a new company. It's a messaging firm, and part of it obviously is creative content, video storytelling.
Yep.
The other, vast majority of the company, the other 2/3 of the company are just in messaging, consulting, copywriting, etc. The company's called LMF, similar to Theo and Harris. It stands for absolutely nothing.
Yep.
It sounds cool. Actually, the L in LMF comes from Leo, which is lox, eggs, and onions, which is my favorite breakfast.
Yeah.
Which, if you guys know Theo and Harris, it's like so classic us.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're partners in the new firm, and basically we're doing for a whole gamut of industries and companies what we do for the watch industry. which is really incredibly touching messaging. Right? Messaging that doesn't just serve you, doesn't just make you as the client feel good, but really understands and hits the consumer, like the end consumer. And that is what all messaging agencies are supposed to do. That's what they all claim to do. They just don't do it. That's the trick. Right, that's the problem. Everyone says they do it, they just don't. And unlike being a car mechanic, oftentimes your client doesn't know you did a bad job. Whereas when you're a mechanic, they know, why is my check engine light still on?
Speaking of, I just dropped my car off at the mechanic,
and my check engine light's always on. So with messaging, it's tricky because the client often doesn't even get it. Right, a mentor of mine, one time said, out of all the money they spent on marketing, only 40% of it actually works. You just don't know which 40%. And the idea that you don't know is incredibly weird. So anyway, we started a new agency. We'll be launching the website soon. But the reason the website's been delayed is because we've signed significant clients before we even launched. So it's delayed really the public launch. But anyway, if you own a company or you run a budget for a major institution or company, whether it's in finance or in insurance or in automotive or in liquor or wherever it might be, shoot us a message. Be happy to take a call and learn more about it. And if I think that we can do a good job, then we'll accept the proposal. We'll make a proposal and we'll do it. That sounds good. So why is this all relevant? Because Michael and I, who frankly have done very well in the first couple of months of the company, frankly, well, said let's buy watches to commemorate this really awesome moment in our lives.
Yes.
Right? I'm turning 26 in 3 weeks, and I'm entering the second half of my 20s.
Yep.
And how old are you?
25.
25, turning 26, December
4th. Jay-Z's birthday.
Why not enter the next chapter of our lives with matching watches?
Yep.
Is that weird?
Only because Cartier is also the most romantic watch
and
brand.
Feminine watch brand. Can I buy you a love bracelet too? I haven't worn my Justin Clue in weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's cold.
I love it though. I love Cartier.
Oh yeah.
And these watches are fantastic.
So here's the thing about these watches. I think they're fantastic. And there's a big discussion in the watch community that you can probably assume because you're very familiar with the watch community. The solar powered and the movement in general are this big, like, heaping giant over the release. Not from like Hodinkee or anything like that, but all the people that comment on these articles are actually pretty ferociously upset that they're charging, I think it's $2,500 for these watches because there's a solar quartz movement inside, which I obviously disagree with, or otherwise wouldn't be getting the watch. But what's shocking is that I feel like if there's going to be a watch that's solar powered, it should be the Cartier tank. But also, second, there is a very, very good time to utilize technology and a good time to not, obviously with mechanical watches versus solar powered. So what are your thoughts on that?
Listen, people are... I disagree. I mean, I fundamentally disagree, right?
Yeah.
I think that Cartier has delivered here the most true Tank Louis in a long, long time. These are very similar to their current Tank Louis that are offered in precious metals, but the current Tank Louis have date, which I object to in all Tank Louis, basically. The crown is perfect. The case is perfect. Everything is exactly right.
Yes.
Could they have gone a step further and done breaking hand? Sure, but that's not what Cartier does anymore. This is what Cartier does. And this is the perfect iteration of that.
Yep.
Now, do I like solar-powered watches? I think that's far more interesting than a regular quartz watch.
Same.
The idea that the watch is solar-powered, I think, is interesting. Now, do I care that this is also their attempt to reach millennials? And in that, the other big thing was these vegan leather straps.
That,
frankly, I'm no vegan.
Also, I think these are plant-based, which is an interesting thing. But usually, like, vegan leather is shorthand for polyurethane.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Will you change the strap?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
What will you put on?
Leather. Of course.
Crocodile.
No.
I will crocodile.
No, we can't say that. Last time we couldn't put an ad on the video.
Never mind. I'm sorry. Never mind.
We had to run an ad, and Christian said the word crocodile, and Google... Oh, no, he said he's going to... do something to a crocodile.
I said I was going to name it first.
Yeah, and Google just banned us. I was on the phone with Google. And
we're not running an ad on this anyway.
No, I just thought that was funny.
Oh, okay, it is funny. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to put a leather strap on this, and
I'll give it a little bit to see how this new faux leather fades or patinas or anything like that. But right now, there's nothing in terms of patinaing and quality than leather. Although there's pineapple leather and mushroom leather coming out.
I don't care. It's like, okay.
Frankly, I don't care. Okay, so the big thing there, besides all of that, how much should movement contribute to price?
So I think that the folks that, first of all, Cartier watches have always been admired for their design. Cartier watches their value is not predicated upon their movement.
Exactly.
Period.
Right.
End. Right. I did wear a quartz Cartier for years. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I would gift. I would buy one for myself.
Yep.
I would gift one to my mother. I'd gift one to anybody.
I actually gift them more. Well, gift them more. I gift one strictly because it was quartz. Because the person that I was giving to, I know would not set the time.
Exactly.
And I know wouldn't get it serviced.
To me, that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Cartier,
For Cartier.
For Cartier.
Yeah.
Exactly right. They are lovely, lovely watches in their design. They're the most supremely elegant watches maybe ever manufactured. They invented it. That's it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's solar powered, to me, way cooler than if it was regular old quartz.
Same.
And even if it was regular old quartz, I'd still buy it.
And
I'd still be buying these watches.
16-year battery life with solar versus a 2 to 3 with, or actually longer because it's just ticking the hand. But still.
I love that.
All in all, great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if we buy one tomorrow when I have to get the battery serviced, I'll still be alone.
You'll be 98.
I'll be 98 and
Wait
still
a minute. 60.
Before we get into Piaget,
Yes.
quick wristwatch check. What are you wearing, Michael?
Oh, do you have a magnet near you?
No.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm wearing the Rolex Milgauss.
Do you like that watch?
Yes. And the thing about this watch is the Milgauss is the first watch from Rolex when I was first getting into watches that ever caught my attention.
Really?
Because the seconds hand I thought was incredible. And then obviously the tinted green sapphire.
Yeah.
I was like, that's beautiful. So much to that I got a watch from Bernhardt Watches. You ever heard of that company? It's like a micro brand, and they look like Milgausses.
Really?
So I got one from them. They do the lightning seconds hand and everything, but it's like 200 meters water resistance because I wanted it so bad.
It's a pretty watch.
Oh, yeah.
I tried it on the right wrist. It fits so well.
It does.
You know, the smooth bezel and everything, the big Rolex print. I love
It's also, I feel like Rolex just, for whatever reason, designing this watch, they were just like, all right, let's do it. You want a lightning bolt on the second hand?
Let's do it.
Do it.
It's more daring than most anything.
Then,
Rolex collection.
like, what else rivals that?
That watch is available in the Theo and Harris watch shop, along with a whole host of other watches from Rolex and Omega and Tudor, etc. I curate all those watches before they find their way into the Theo and Harris watch shop. So, if you'd like to buy a watch from the Theo and Harris watch shop, go ahead and check out the Theo and Harris watch shop. And if you would like to buy an extra strap for one of your watches, check out the straps in the Theo and Harris watch shop. I'm not wearing a watch from the Theo and Harris watch shop. I am wearing my dad's.
You could sell it, though.
He wouldn't notice. I'm wearing my dad's 1601, a lovely watch, a watch that my mother gave to him. The head for his. My mom gave my dad head for his.
Right when he said that, I was like, we're gonna have to.
Birthday. And then I believe for his 50th, or his opposite, 45 and 50, whatever it was. No, I'm sorry. It was 50th birthday, then 25th wedding anniversary.
Are we sure she even gave it to your dad?
So she gave him head for his 50th, and then she gave him the bracelet for his for their anniversary later. And it was like one of the most thoughtful gifts. The clasp reads 1 lunch in 25 years because the first date that they had, they went out to lunch.
Adorable.
They both worked at Macy's.
Adorable.
And that's the American dream.
Macy's.
Families are always rising and falling in America.
Yep.
Am I right?
You are.
Who said that?
Martin Luther King.
Hawthorne.
Families are always rising or falling in America, am I right?
Who said that?
Hawthorne.
So I love Piaget for a couple of reasons. One, I have a lovely Piaget, which you've seen me wear maybe once.
Yes.
I never wear that watch. I love that watch. It actually needs service. I have to just do it.
Is that the diamond-sided one? That is a nice watch.
It's probably my favorite watch that I own.
Yeah, it's
which
cool.
is like nuts.
It's cool.
That. As an Italian American that grew up in the Northeast, Piaget is a big part of the just dress culture. A lot that was a go-to watch for a lot of uncles and things like that. So I saw a lot of Piaget growing up. So it's nostalgic.
Yep.
But also a lot of their vintage watches are fantastic. The polo is fantastic. And then if you get into the actual watchmaking about it, in modern history they've done this incredible job at perfecting a complication almost nobody cares about. Right. Which to me is a testament to their geekdom.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
They're the best at something no one cares about.
Yep, exactly.
How incredible is that?
Right.
How incredible is that?
Right. So,
And I admire that in people.
ready for this?
I'm the best at things that people care about. So,
So I could give a better kind of
I
insight.
admire people who are the best at things that no one cares
For trivial things. So, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Their new watch, the record-breaking thin watch, 2 millimeters thick. A quarter, 1.75 millimeters thick.
That's
So
unbelievable.
this is 0.25 millimeters thicker than a quarter.
Yeah.
You know what insane that is?
What do you even say about that?
It is so thin that they had to not create their own metal. I'll read about the metal in a second, but it is so thin that if they didn't use their own custom like alloy, it bends when you tighten the strap. Isn't that insane?
What do you say about
And
that?
on top of that, it's 20 meters water resistant.
Hey.
It doesn't. If it was 1 meter water resistant,
you're
I'd
still
be like,
like, hey,
great. It's probably so thin, water just can't get in. They didn't have to do
What
anything.
do you say about that?
Yeah,
I mean, it's an incredible. Look at this photo.
yeah. Look, that is the previous record holder.
It's unbelievable.
That's the JLC.
and that is considerably thinner.
Oh, dramatically.
Dramatically thinner.
So JLC and Piaget are kind of the ones butting heads on this front, and
Yeah.
JLC and Piaget are also both owned
So now
by
this watch
Richemont.
is how much retail?
Do you see the price? Don't look.
No.
Okay, take a guess.
What does it do? What is it?
It's just really thin.
It's just really thin.
Yeah.
It's not a tourbillon.
So you're already not sold. No, it's just the
thin.
thinnest watch ever.
Is it $300,000?
$430,000.
Wow, it's a lot of money.
That is a lot of dough.
Unless you're unfamiliar, that is to most people
Typically,
a lot of money.
yeah.
Someone out there is watching like, wow, that's a bargain. And maybe it is. Maybe it is to you, and that's
Yeah, true.
fantastic. Frankly, it's fantastic.
But that's been coming out so much.
It's
Have you been
really-
drinking?
Yes.
What is in that cup?
Yes.
All right, so real quick rundown on this watch. First things, they set rules because they didn't want to use any modern technology, which I thought soon you're gonna have to. I think they didn't want to use any modern like carbon fiber or anything like that because that's too easy for them. Because like you said, they're doing
It's nuts. In and of itself, that's nuts.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Let's limit the technology we can use.
Yep. So practicality had to function and wear like an ordinary watch, which obviously when you tighten the strap, if your watch bends in half, that's not practical.
Not normal.
Nope. The second thing is the traditional materials. But this new metal, I'll just read basically what was written. An exceptionally rigid metal was required for the case. The answer was M64BC, a cobalt alloy that's almost a third chromium plus a significant amount of molybdenum.
Of course.
Those are from Marvel.
No, it makes sense to me. I don't know why you're so confused.
Finally, the thing about this watch, it's not COSC certified, but how picky can you be? It is -5 to +15 seconds a day. That's it.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
I mean, for $430,000, I would have liked
It's a
plus
bargain.
10.
No, I mean, yo, who gives?
No,
Who
I'm
cares?
kidding.
Let me ask you a personal question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something about yourself.
Do it.
Do you even notice if your watch is fast or slow?
By how much?
30 seconds?
No. I sold watches obviously for a while. Now I work here. No. When people are like, oh, it's +5, I'm like, yes.
Yes.
That's fine.
That's it. Well, yeah, obviously I run the Theo and Harris watch shop, and all the watches run within chronometer certification, whatever.
Yep.
If they were meant to be, they do, and whatever. But people are like, hey, the watch, 6 months later, the watch is running within, 2 seconds out of COSC. And I say, okay, like, do you want to have it regulated? Like, I can do that for you. It's not a
no
big
big
deal.
deal.
But
Right.
like, you have to ship it in
Yeah.
for a second. I'll send you a label if you want.
Right.
Like, I'll do it. But do you really want to be
I've
without your watch for
I've
a week?
always done that, yeah.
For 2 seconds a day?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
What are we supposed to do here? These are old. This is our final story. This I just thought was interesting. This is a watch that's already been out, but Bvlgari for the first time is participating in the only watch auction, which is all these big brands and all these big companies
Yeah.
donate watches to be auctioned off to benefit research into muscular dystrophy, which I thought was really cool. But this is their perpetual calendar, the thinnest perpetual calendar in the world, just beating out AP, and it's made out of tantalum.
Where is it? What's the photo? Oh, that's it?
That guy right there, yeah.
You like the watch?
I do. I've seen a few, and I can't wear them, but looking at them, great. Like that as a table clock is great. I just can't fit it on my wrist because it's like a table clock.
Well, it's big. I just think that it's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot there.
This looks like post-Gentra era.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
I like, I like time-only watches, so maybe I'm biased, but I love the Bvlgari Octofinissimo, just the regular, just
Yep.
You know, in titanium. I love it. And that rose gold, I think it's the best in rose gold.
Yep.
It's incredible.
It's a beautiful watch.
Yeah, it's lovely. All right, well, that's the Bvlgari. Frankly, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. The technology alone is cool. Doesn't do it for me. For you, it's a desk clock. That's great.
Yes.
Let's tell them to subscribe.
Yes, we shall. Listen, you.
Are you a watch lover? Do you love watches? Do you like watching watch videos on YouTube?
Do you have wrist and or ankles?
Can you wear a watch on your ankle? Subscribe to our channel on YouTube for more watch talk coming up in the following weeks. And follow us on Instagram at Theo and Harris. And take a look at the Theo and Harris Watch Shop
Today.
today. Bye.